All right, everyone, let me get this link sent out real quick. There we go. One second. Make sure it sounds good. I know what I'm missing now. I know what we're missing. There we go. Let me get this link sent out. There we go. Yeah, it sounds a lot better. Sending the links out real quick, and then we're going to get right into it. Get the chat pulled up on the other screen. Oh. Yeah. There we go. Ooh, okay. I was gonna say, does my stream actually look like that? There we go. I was gonna be sick. All right, we can put that there, and this here. Make sure everything looks good. Awesome. What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Any Given Monday podcast. Like I said, we're gonna start doing it at night. It's just hard for me to wake up and get going that early. The energy drinks not hitting like they used to, or I'm getting old. One of the two. It's probably the energy drinks not hitting like they used to. So we got a lot of topics to talk about today. NFL season. Boots is over here wilding. NFL season predictions, not predictions. Schedule for every team coming out on Wednesday, but we did have some teams get leaked. I believe the Chiefs against the Ravens and the Cowboys against the Browns. I'm not sure if anything else has been leaked yet. We'll probably pull up Twitter and take a look at that here in a second. We're going to talk about some Jared Goff, some bus drivers getting paid. The bus driver wages are getting raised in the NFL. We have Rashee Rice back in the headlines. Thank God the Chiefs drafted a receiver. Some UFC St. Louis recap. When I told y'all that card was going to be full of knockouts, I didn't lie. I always deliver. I hardly miss. Let's be real. I hardly miss. That being said, UFC 302, Islam versus Dustin Poirier. We're going to go over that card a little bit. Not official predictions. We're going to take, we're going to do it from who we want to win and from our, just a glance. Just take a little glance at it. And we have NBA playoff talk. NBA playoffs. It's round 2. It's getting really, it's heating up. It's heating up. I'm pretty sure the Cavs probably lost. Let's take a look at that. I probably don't even have to look at it. Cavs score. Dang, that sucks. We'll talk about that here in a minute too. That's really interesting. Actually, that kind of feel bad for the Cavs. I guess that kind of gives it away. But starting off, we have our NFL season opener, Thursday Night Football. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear the intro. I would play it for you on YouTube, but I'll get DMCA'd. So just think about it in your head. Football is right around the corner. We got a few months left. What is it? April, May, June, July. Like little less than 4 months. Little less than 3.5 months. We're going to have some regular season football. And I think the way they're starting the season, we're going to have the Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I can't tell you how I think this game's going to start. Y'all know I'm big on the Chiefs always start slow. Chiefs always start slow in their first half of the first half of the season. I think that's kind of how it's going to go this year. I could see the Ravens coming out and stealing this one. It's hard to predict. Both are really good teams. I mean, we saw the Lions come out last year and upset the Chiefs. I could see the Ravens coming out and do it. Ravens wide receiver core is a little, hey, it's a bottom tier wide receiver core. Let's be serious right now. Zay Flowers can't do it all. They have Devin Duvernay, I think. They still have Devin Duvernay. Who did they let go? Was it Devin Duvernay that they let go of? I can't remember. That wide receiver core is horrendous. But when you have a MVP caliber quarterback like like Lamar Jackson, then I guess your wide receiver core can be iffy. I said in my video today, we're going to see a lot of probably Isaiah Likely on the outside. We'll probably see a lot of Mark Andrews on the outside, a lot of double tight. It's going to be really interesting. 2 MVP quarterbacks kicking the season off, 2 high-powered offenses. And me saying the Ravens are a high-powered offense, I mean Lamar Jackson is a high-powered offense. They did add Derrick Henry. So we're going to get some Derrick Henry action. That's going to be real interesting. The Chiefs probably won't start the season with Rashee Rice. They have Worthy. They have Hollywood Brown. I think they're in good hands. I'm assuming Rashee Rice, they said a half season suspension. That's going to be absolutely insane to me if he only gets half a season. I mean, this man is facing, 4 felony charges, and he just hit someone in a nightclub. Something like that. Something along those lines. He just slapped someone in a nightclub. So, and he's had these problems in college. It's persisting in the NFL. 4 felonies. I mean, if we look at it, Zeke got cleared of beating his girlfriend. Didn't do it. The courts cleared him, said he did not do it. And he got, a 6-game suspension? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he got a 6-game suspension. This man, Rashee Rice, you know what? We're going to get into that. That's one of our topics. So we'll get over there. Next game that has been leaked, but if I could put a dub on the Ravens and Chiefs, I'm never going to doubt Patrick Mahomes. Give me the Chiefs. Next, we have the Cowboys and the Browns. And I'm going to kind of go in on this one because I'm tired of Cowboys fans. Cowboys fans just think they're going to win every game, and they just do not have the team this year. I'm giving you the prediction right now. The Dallas Cowboys are finishing 3rd in their division under the Eagles and under the Washington Commanders. You heard it here first. On Any Given Monday podcast. Why do I think the Browns are going to go out here and dominate the Cowboys? I'll start off with the Browns looked good last year with their 4th option at quarterback. He was a Super Bowl winning quarterback, back when I was a senior in high school. And let me tell you, not even a senior. When he won the Super Bowl, what were we, Tyler, if you're in here? Were we freshmen? Were we in 8th grade? I mean, this man, shout out. Well, I can't even remember his name. Joe Flacco. Shout out Joe Flacco. Amazing quarterback. I'm not going to talk down on him. He's got the ring. He's got the stats. Just a little older. They got him up off the couch. What I'm trying to get to is the Browns have an absolute squad. They retained almost everyone except one person, I think, and I can't even remember who that one person is. I think they retained absolutely everyone from last season. They bolstered their running back room. They might not have Nick Chubb week 1. They have some dogs. They have Kareem Hunt. They have Deontay Foreman. They have some vets back there, some dogs that I think if Deshaun Watson comes out. Now this is the big if. if Deshaun Watson can come out and perform, I think the Browns clear this game. I mean, the Cowboys, they got worse at running back. They got worse at wide receiver. You can say they got better. They didn't add anything better to their wide receiver room. I won't say they got worse. I will say they didn't get better. They added Zeke back. That's a pity clap right there. That's a pity clap. Your backup, your receiving back is 5'3". You lost your starting linebacker. You add an older Eric Kendricks. You lost your defensive coordinator, a Super Bowl winning coach, and replaced him with someone who just has never been that level of successful. I say that, watch him have won a Super. I mean, who knows who he's coached under? Let me not get that far. But you definitely downgraded a defensive coordinator. Your quarterback is on a contract year. He could go out there and perform. He could go out there and be a dud. CD could go out. I mean, there's just a lot. They're just not deep anywhere, in my opinion. Maybe D-line, I will give it to them. They went in the draft and they bolstered that D-line a little bit. They re-signed some people. I just don't think they're going to have what it takes to accelerate and win this game. So that is my opinions on the openers. So I'm putting dubs on the 2 announced games. Give me the Browns and give me the Chiefs. You know what? We'll look up and see if there was anyone else that we'll look up and see if there are any more games announced. NFL week 1 games announced. I spelled announced wrong, but it'll be okay. Here's what we know before Wednesday's full release. Week 1, Cowboys at Browns. We already talked about that. Ooh. We talked about Kansas City and Baltimore, but we have another release we did not talk about. I think there's only one more that we haven't talked about. We have, y'all ready for this? This is actually a banger. Another banger week 1 game. We have the Packers, the Green Bay Packers, the young Green Bay Packers. They added some veteran depth. They went and got a solid running back. They added some vets on the defense. I think they did everything they needed to do to build around that young team they have and progress this year. Green Bay Packers taking on in Brazil. What, Monday Night Football? Is this Monday Night Football? September 6th. So probably Monday Night Football. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I think that's an amazing matchup. That's going to be a great game. Philadelphia Eagles did their thing in this offseason. You know, they went and drafted some studs to bolster that defense. They also bring back Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who was with the Lions last year. Maybe he can actually stay healthy. They went and got Saquon Barkley. They did lose some Hall of Fame linemen. Shout out Jason Kelsey. Shout out Lane Johnson. Right? Lane Johnson's gone, right? Or am I wrong? I think it was Lane Johnson, right? I know Kelsey retired. I'm pretty sure Lane Johnson retired. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is. If I'm going to put a winner on that game, that one actually, I mean, that's going to be a tough game to beat. That's a good one. I think the Eagles are going to come out and get it done. So week 1 so far, we got the Chiefs coming out with a dub. We got the Browns coming out with a dub. And we got the Eagles coming out with a dub. So that'll end our NFL season openers. Going into, we had a quarterback get paid today, a massive amount of money to drive that bus on into playoffs. Jared Goff with a contract extension. I think it was $242 million, $170 million guaranteed, baby. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. Let's go ahead and look the numbers up. Y'all know I don't come prepared. Y'all know I do this all off the dome. Jared Goff. contract. $212 million. I think it's like $170 million guaranteed. That's a lot of bread. That's a lot of bread to be out there driving that bus and getting beat by the Packers in playoffs. That's a lot of bread. Was it the Packers or was it the 49ers? The Packers upset the Cowboys and then got upset and then got beat by the 49ers, right? I can't remember if they played the Lions or not. I'm not remembering the playoffs too well. I just know it was a banger. It was a good game. I think, man, I did my top 10. You know, we'll go over we'll reiterate our top 10 teams today before we absolutely go in on Rashee Rice. Let's pull up the notes. You know, I got them in the notes. Top 10 power rankings. So I did a video on this today. If you're here and you haven't watched the video, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. We're going to go over it right now. At number 10, starting off our power rankings, I think this one's gonna shock a lot of people. Let me know what y'all think about this. We have a young offensive core. We got a young wide receiver. We got a young generational talent tight end. We have a young generational talent running back. We have a young quarterback that is on the bench because Kirk Cousins was signed by the Atlanta Falcons. I have the Atlanta Falcons at the start of my rankings. At number 10, we're going to go 10-1. So they could fall out after week 1. We'll see how they perform. Kirk Cousins, I really honestly think elevates these terrible teams to the next level. Now, can I say that about the Vikings? I don't know. I don't expect the Vikings to do great this year. They have a young quarterback who has a lot to learn in the NFL. They said he's a quick learner. Well, you got to think about the best year for a quarterback happened last year, right? 4,000 yards, 25 passing touchdowns. Not a lot of passing touchdowns. Now, could it look a little different with Justin Jefferson? It could. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it's going to look over there. So it's going to look like the Vikings regress a little bit. I still think Kirk Cousins is an absolute dog at the quarterback position. At number 9, we have the Green Bay Packers. We just talked about them. Really young team. Went and won some playoff games. Jordan Love, first year as a starter. Came out looking like an absolute dog. And I want to take a little, not a little credit, but I do want to say I have hyped Boots. These cats are wildin'. I have hyped Jordan Love up for a while before he was a starter, before he went and won these playoff games. I've been a big Jordan Love supporter. Knew that when he was going to be up, he was going to come out here and perform. Really young team, really young wide receiver core. They went and got a vet running back. Replaced Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, really solid running back. Injury issues. Josh Jacobs going to come in, hopefully stay healthy, fill that role. They retain Quadzilla, A.J. Dillon. Solid backup running back. I think that's going to be a crazy duo. You have Jordan Love in his second year starting. Hey, that's going to be really fun to watch. You got a lot of team chemistry between these guys being built. Hold on. I need to see what just happened. Oh, no. Oh, God. The Rangers must be falling apart. Great. Awesome. Where was I? I mean, solid, good chemistry being built between young players. Then you got the defense, really young defense. Jair Alexander, an absolute dog. Maybe, potentially, the best in the league at cornerback. I'll say it. One of the absolutely top 3 in the league at cornerback. I think the sky's the limit for this team. I think they added vets in all the right places for depth and to help that young team thrive. I have the Green Bay Packers at number 8. At number 9. Coming in at number 8, a team we already talked about as well. Didn't lose a lot of players. We won't harp on it too much because we've already talked about them. We have the Cleveland Browns. I think It could be shaky here. They could be really good this season. If they're really bad, it's going to be sickening because they paid Deshaun Watson all that money to come out and be terrible. Next at number 7, we have the Houston Texans. Now, y'all know I can't get H-Town too hyped up. The Houston Texans are going to come out. They're going to be dogs. They have insane wide receiver potential. You have wide receiver 1 in Nico Collins, wide receiver 2, Stephon Diggs, and you really don't even have to go from there, but I'm going to go from there. You have wide receiver 3, Tank Dell, who's going to do amazing in the slot, going to create a lot of open space between him and Dalton Schultz, terrorizing the middle of the field. If they fall anything outside of at least, I mean, if you don't make the AFC Championship, it is a sad year, because not only did they bolster that offense, they bolstered that defense. The Texans are looking scary. God, please don't win a Super Bowl. I don't want to pay H-Town $500. Next, we have, rounding out our bottom 5, we have at number 6. Are y'all ready for this? Boots, are you ready for this? Goose, are y'all ready for this? We have the Baltimore Ravens. Now, I made some people mad with this one. And I said in my video, the Baltimore Ravens at 6, that is their floor. If they fall out of the top 10, something detrimental happened to that team. I'm talking to Derrick Henry. And when I say knock on wood, God, please don't even entertain this, or a Lamar Jackson injury. A Zay Flowers injury. I mean, that wide receiver core is terrible. You lose Zay Flowers, I mean, you're looking down a terrible rabbit hole. Baltimore Ravens at 6. I think this is their floor, and the ceiling is a Super Bowl victory. And number 1, I think they lost a lot of players in the offseason. They lost their defensive coordinator. Can't remember if they lost their offensive coordinator. You make a massive splash getting Derrick Henry. You lose one of your best linebackers. You lose Jadeveon Clowney. You lose Rock Ya-Sin. You lose Geno Stone. You lose Devin Duvernay. You lose OBJ. Your wide receiver core is looking shaky, but when you have a MVP caliber quarterback like Lamar Jackson, he's going to make anything work. We've already talked about it. I think we're going to see a lot of double tight. We're going to see a lot of tight ends on the outside. So Baltimore Ravens are my 6, and that is a floor 6. So the sky's the limit for them. Starting our top 5. Now, people were mad I put them above the Ravens, but I think their team is absolutely insane. I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. I think so they were my Super Bowl contender last year after Aaron Rodgers got hurt 3 plays into the season, maybe 1 play, I can't remember. How many plays did Aaron Rodgers play before his Achilles popped? Was it 1 or 2? I think it might have been 1. They're super fast all over the ball. Wide receiver, some of the fastest in the league. You have running backs, the fastest in the league. You have tight end, fast, defense, fast. One of your problems last year was your defense and how injured it was. You went and signed Jordan Brooks. You went and signed, Shaq Bennett. You went and signed Jordan Poyer. You went and you got some really solid, older depth, but solid depth for your defense. So you can rotate players out. You can rest guys. You can let them take plays off, and you're not going to have to worry about getting blown up downfield. You're not going to have to worry about the run game running all over you. You're not going to have to worry halfway through the season about your guys getting hurt. So I think the Dolphins at 5 is pretty solid now. Is that their floor? No. I mean, they could be anywhere from number 1 to outside of the top 10. The Dolphins. Goose. The Dolphins are a very, very interesting team. At number 4, we have the Detroit Lions. And when I say the Lions are coming back for blood, they added some depth at running back. They added some depth at wide receiver. They went and got a Pro Bowl guard to help their O-line. They just paid their bus driver quarterback. I mean, there is Goose is over here tripping. There is a lot of potential for that team. I think they're not going to do anything but learn from what happened last year. I think they're going to do a lot of learning from last year. I mean, they blew some games. They blew some some playoff games. Like, there's no reason. It was the 49ers that who beat the Lions, the 49ers, right? And they were like putting it on them. Like, the Lions were putting it on them. That defense just fell apart, man. And I think they made some really good signings to help that team. Number 3, we're going to round out our 3, 2, and our 1. Number 3, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. I think, like we talked about, they lost some guys on that O-line. And when I say some guys, I mean they lost some Hall of Famers on that O-line in Kelsey and Lane Johnson. They went, he's messing with the pop figures. They went and they got Saquon Barkley. They went and they got 2 defensive studs in the draft. I mean, 2 of the top projected defensive guys in the draft. They went and got, did I say Saquon Barkley already? Well, I'm going to say it again because he's an absolute dog. They went and, they have some solid guys that are going to fill those holes on the O-line. It's hard to replace those Hall of Famers. So that's probably why I have them at my 3 and not my 2. Number 2, I guess you could argue it, San Francisco 49ers. They are getting a little older. They did add some wide receiver depth that I like. I really like it if they can find a way to keep all the... If they can find a way to keep all those guys together. Hold on. Let me get this cat out of here. This cat is... There we go. Yeah, the 49ers added a lot. I think they're going to be in a solid position. They still got Brock the bus driver over there. They have their George Kittle. They have Debo, Ayuk. They got a lot of guys. They got a lot of talent, a lot of solid talent over there. They got the coaching. So I would, hold on one second. Oh God, Street saying May going to be a bust. Yeah, we'll see. So San Francisco 49ers at 2, and I think y'all can already assume who I have at number 1. The Dallas. The Kansas City Chiefs rounding out our number 1 spot. I mean, they could, hold on, they're still talking about the streets in here. Yeah. The Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know they lost L'Jarius Sneed. I know they're probably losing Rashee Rice for what should be potentially the whole season, but we'll see how the NFL does that. You know how they love their Chiefs. That would be absolutely detrimental for any other team in the NFL, but they have someone named Patrick Mahomes and someone named Travis Kelce and someone named Taylor Swift. So expect the Kansas City Chiefs to be back in the Super Bowl. Y'all heard it here first. I can't sleep on Mahomes. I slept on Tom Brady too much. I'm not going to go through that again. I'm not going through it again. I'm choosing peace. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback we have ever seen play the game of football, and he's going to continue to be the best quarterback we have ever seen play the game of football. Let's see what Tim said. May stay being a bust. Oh my God. All right, guys, y'all heard it here first. The Raiders fan and the Texans, Lions, Cowboys, Spurs, 49ers, Dolphins fans said that Drake May is going to be a bust. So there you go. Y'all heard it here first. Next on our topics, we're talking a little bit about Rashee Rice. Been in the headlines again. I think he went out there and, well, he was at a club and he slapped a reporter. And now there's reports coming out he was having these problems in college. He has what, 4 felony charges right now that he's not going to beat. He's getting convicted of those 4 felonies. Now what the charges will be, or like what he will get, he won't get prison time. Could you imagine a judge just came down with some prison time? So street racing is a felony. Hold on. God. Street racing is a felony in Texas. So there's one felony. I probably fleeing the scene of a crime, hit and run. There were apparently drugs and guns in the car. Like, who knows where this is all going to go? But it's going down a slippery slope, and it's going fast. And I mean, fast. Like I said, I think the Chiefs are probably playing it like they're not going to see Rashee Rice this year. I would fully believe. I'm thinking 10 plus. A lot of people have been saying 6 to 8. I'm thinking 10 plus games. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we're going to see Rashee Rice gone for 10 plus games. I'm saying 10 to 12. They're saying 6 to 8. I'm saying 10 to 12. I mean, those are some massive. And you're young. Boy, they about to hit you with the book. Like I said, they gave Zeke a suspension and he didn't even hit nobody. You done created a 7-car pileup with drugs and guns and slapped a reporter. You're lucky you're going to still be playing in the NFL. You give these young guys too much money, not enough role models, too many bad people around them, too many yes men, and they turn out to just act out of their mind and think they're untouchable. I hope the court system touches them up. I hope the NFL touches them up. Out of, he needs to learn a lesson, because, I mean, that's just ridiculous, bro. These guys think they're untouchable. He said Belichick been checked out, brother. He said Belichick been checked out. Let's see what he means by that. Let's see if he even knows Bill Belichick's not a coach anymore. This is gonna be interesting. I gotta see the reply to this. Onto our NFL topics, onto our UFC topics. We had UFC St. Louis this weekend, which was an absolute banger. If y'all watched the video, y'all know I put on there that it was going to be full of knockouts, and boy, did UFC St. Louis do nothing but deliver the knockouts and the wars. I mean, there wasn't one bad fight on that card. Like, even Acosta against the Spain, Dana White said that was boring. I think it was an actually really good fight. I know Dana White sells oh shit moments. I know Dana White sells oh shit moments, but from a God. Yeah. He sells oh shit moments. So that fight didn't produce one of those moments. I mean, Acosta, shout out you. You fought that fight the way you should. I don't know what y'all expected him to do. Like, did y'all expect him to go out there and box the Cuban Nagano? I mean, this dude was crucifying people with his power, and he got touched by him, and he was like, I know how I need to fight this. He pieced him up. He baited him in. He took him down. He ground and pounded him. He looked for the submission. It was a really solid fight, but for you casuals, you can't understand that. So let's pull up UFC St. Louis. UFC St. Louis. We're gonna start. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I didn't watch the women's fights. It's not because I didn't want to. One, I was at my daughter's recital. Two, when the other one came on, I was eating. So didn't unfortunately get to watch those. So we're going to start off with Charles Johnson and Jake Hadley. Now, Charles Johnson came out and did what I said he was going to do. He went out there. He put on a war. Jake Hadley, he dropped him. He didn't get the finish, but he went out there and he beat him by decision. Round of applause, Charles. Next, Kai Car France, baby. After that, we had Billy Ray Goff and Trey Waters, a controversial fight. I actually didn't get to watch this one. I haven't even went back and watched it yet. I heard it was super controversial. Goff thought he should have won. He's been very, very vocal about it on social media. He was apparently hit with an illegal knee. I know the part of the fight I saw had to have been after that knee was hit because he just looked wobbled out of his mind. I mean, I am so surprised that fight went to decision. It got fight of the night because they were throwing absolute bombs and going to absolute war. I think it was a really solid fight. Next, we have Terrence McKinney and Esteban Ribovics, two guys that I said are absolutely mirror fighters of each other. They could go out there and either one of them could get a knockout. And boy, did we see potentially knockout of the year. I think we honestly saw knockout of the year. I mean, the 1-2 to the head kick. I mean, brother was... if y'all want a visual, bro looked like he was laid up. This was, this is real. This was Terrence McKinney when he got kicked in the head. I thought I was looking at a dead body in the octagon. It was brutal. He didn't know what happened. That's the game we play, both of them knockout artists. Ribovics was just, he was just the sniper that day. He was just the one on point. Next, we have Chase Hooper and a guy's name that I'm going to try to say for y'all. Y'all get ready to clip this because it's going to be interesting. Let me let Boots out of the room. Get all these cats out of here. All right. All right, y'all ready for me to pronounce this name? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Vyacheslav Borshev. One attempt. Y'all know how I do it. One attempt. Chase Hooper actually went out there and murdered this dude. I didn't know if y'all knew Chase Hooper was like a gang leader, but he went out there and he put a clinic on this man. So yeah, Chase Hooper got his grown man strength finally. Shout out Chase. Round of applause. We're happy to see it. We already talked about Waldo Acosta and Robles to Spain. I do want to say again, if you didn't like that fight, you're a casual and you thought Robles to Spain wasn't going to get fraud checked, you can go check out the video. I tried to tell y'all he was going to get fraud checked, and that is absolutely what happened. Next, we have Alex Correas and Sean Woodson. Now, Sean Woodson and Alex Correas, he was a bigger underdog on this card, and I don't think he deserved to be a bigger underdog. He was, I can't remember his record. Let's pull it up real quick. 21-15, but he's seen a lot in the UFC. I think he fought this fight really well. I just think Sean Woodson, Sean Woodson's kind of a mirror image fighter of him, and he's more crisp. I think he's younger. Sean Woodson, absolute potential top featherweight. I think that there's going to be, he's really big for that division. Let's be for real. Alex Correas, no slander in his game. He went out there and he fought a really good fight. He was looking for those, we've never seen Sean Woodson really in danger, per se. And Alex Correas went out there and I feel like he put some hands on him. He put some hands on Sean Woodson. So Next, we had the performance of the night, the upset of probably the year. Diego Ferreira and Matuzi Rebecki. Now, Rebecki looked like he was either in a UFC fight or a Halloween movie. Both his eyes swollen shut, cuts all over the face. It looked like your casual Michael Myers victim. Diego didn't like the disrespect y'all put on him. He was, I think, he was a 380 underdog. He went out there, he landed some bombs. He did great. He had great wrestling defense. I mean, you had a striker shooting, so you know you're touching someone up when they're a striker and they're shooting takedowns. You know you're touching them up a little bit. Shout out, 39 years old. You don't see a lot of older guys be too successful in the UFC. Usually after about 33, 34, 35, that ship is sailing. Shout out Glover Teixeira, 40-year-old champion. We love to see it. We love to see it. Next, we have another performance of the night, by the way. Alonzo Minifield and Carlos Ulberg. Alonzo Minifield fought this really weird. I mean, I don't know who in his corner was like, yeah, bro, you go out there and you rush this guy. Well, he went out there and he rushed that guy. And that guy rushed him out of the octagon, rushed him onto a stretcher, and rushed him to the hospital because he was out like a light. I mean, okay, now let's be real. He got up at least. He got up. He got dropped. He got knocked out. Really, really weird way to fight that. I mean, you're in the upper division of the UFC and you're rushing a guy out the gate. I don't know if they thought they saw something and Ulberg went out there and corrected it, but it was hey, shout out Dallas. Shout out the Mavs, and at least they're putting on this week because Alonzo Minifield didn't for Dallas. So next we have Joaquin Buckley, and here goes another one of those names, guys. Y'all ready? Nursultan Ruzabov. He's like 6'5" in the welterweight division. That is what we call in the UFC world a weight bully. So he got what he deserved. It was actually insane watching them fight because Buckley's 5'10". He's actually is he small for the division? He might be like perfect size for the division. I can't remember. He's 5'10", so watching him try to get in and box this guy was amazing. It was a really fun fight to watch. Buckley got the win. And then he got on the mic and he called out who other than any other UFC fighter below 185 would call, probably at 185 and lower would call out, Conor McGregor. So he got that call out. That's not going to happen. What do we think is next for Buckley? I don't know. What's his name? Probably Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns probably next for Buckley. After that, we had Derek Lewis and Rodrigo Nascimento. Nascimento, a wrestler. I was sick of them feeding wrestlers to Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis actually did really good when he was put in bad situations on the ground. He went out there and he made bro start crip walking when he knocked him out. So that's how that card went. Let's get into some UFC 302, Islam and Dustin Poirier. We'll do a video about Barboza and them next week. We'll just find some interesting fights to talk about on this card. No, we're not going to talk about Grant Dawson. All right, Phil Rowe and Jake Matthews. Neither of these guys ranked. Was Jake Matthews ranked at one point, or am I tripping? I think that'll be a solid fight. Mickey Gall. I feel like Mickey Gall is terrible. Am I tripping, chat? Or is Mickey Gall terrible? Let's look at the last few. 6 wins by submission, 5 first-round finishes. All right, I'm thinking of someone else. Kevin Holland and Michael. Oh, y'all ready? Russian. My bad. Polish. Michael Oleszewski. Michael Alexei Jessic. Yep. I'm going Kevin Holland off pure hope that I never have to say that name ever again. So these are not the official predictions, by the way. We will drop a video a week or two out, probably the Thursday before the event, of our official predictions. We got Almeida taking on Romanov. Almeida, Derek Lewis called him out because he wants his rerun in that fight. Nico Price is fighting. God, hey, I thought this dude was Chase Hooper. I was like, Chase Hooper's fighting again? What's next? Sean, are we already? That was the main card? I was looking through the main card. Jeez. Well, we'll talk about the co-main event and the main event because none of these are really intriguing until I start breaking them down a little bit. We have Sean Strickland, number one contender, taking on Paulo Costa, number one contender. Now, I just think Sean Strickland's going to be too technical for Paulo Costa. Now, I mean, everyone, especially Paulo Costa, has a puncher's chance. I just like Strickland's jab too much. I like how he keeps his distance. I think he has the better pace and the better stamina. I think we will see Sean Strickland win this fight. But, like I said, everyone has a puncher's chance, especially Paulo Costa. Next, we have Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier. Islam coming in right now at a 485 favorite. I like that because we've seen a lot of upsets this year so far. And I think Dustin Poirier is one of the ones that can cause one of those upsets. I mean, if Islam's going to have to take him down. And the thing with taking Dustin Poirier down, Dustin Poirier is a solid guy on the ground. He has solid ground defense. He can jump that he can jump that guillotine when he wants to. And when you get in the pocket and try to wrestle him, he's going to touch you up. And all of y'all that think Islam's vulnerable, we've seen him get knocked out before. Islam has been put on the canvas before, out cold. We've seen it. We've seen it happen. And who else can do it? I think Dustin Poirier can do it. Now, at first, I said Islam's going to win. That's my technical side speaking, but there's some recency bias. And for the love of the game, Dustin Poirier, please go out here and knock bro out. Please go out here and knock bro out. I'm begging you, Dustin. I want you to go out here and knock bro out, put the belt on, then put the belt on you, put the belt on your wife, set it in the middle of the octagon, announce you're retiring, be like, one of these other bums can come get it. What is left? I mean, he could want to defend it. What is left after beating Islam? You know, you're going to get an immediate rematch. Islam's going to want an immediate rematch. You might as well just vacate it as soon as you win it. You got it. You got what you wanted. You got the gold. God, I hope Dustin Poirier goes out there and wins this fight. Next, last but not least, we have our NBA playoff talk. We had the Cavs lose today. We'll look at this. We'll look at all the series real quick. NBA playoffs. We'll see how the Mavs are playing right now. Mavs are up. Celtics win today, 109-102. They didn't have Donovan Mitchell, so we kind of knew that was going to happen. It was actually looked like a closer game. I wonder how far off it was going into the last minute. Pacers, Knicks tied 2-2. I really don't want to see the Celtics in the finals. I just really don't like Jason Tatum. When he did that cheesy thing where he texted Kobe's phone after he died and then went and lost the finals, had me sick to my stomach. So we're Jason Tatum haters around here. So I'm hoping the Knicks can get it done because the Pacers have no chance against the Celtics. So we're probably going to see the Celtics in the finals. The Mavs are really interesting because the Timberwolves and the Nuggets series is tied 2-2. I've already told y'all I think the Nuggets are going to win that series. They're just too deep. There's too many guys they can game plan around and run the ball through. I think that the Timberwolves are going to crash out, especially if it goes to game 7, which is going to have to go to game 7, and they're going to crash out by then. So we're seeing the Mavs potentially playing either of those teams are bad matchup for the Mavs, right? I mean, Gafford and Lively, solid centers, right? And I said to beat OKC, it's really going to revolve around them, I think. Luka and Kyrie are going to do their thing, but Gafford and Lively have to go down there. They have to play some physical basketball against Chet. And, I mean, they're out there doing it. They're playing some physical basketball against Chet. And I think it's really given him an awakening. Chet's gonna come back next year with some weight on him. That's what I'm trying to say. But after that, Gafford and Lively not stopping Jokic, and Gafford and Lively are absolutely not stopping Cat and Rudy Gobert. So I think the Mavs have a long shot ahead of them. Could we see Mavs Celtics? I think that'd be a good matchup. Other than that, I think it's probably going to be Nuggets Celtics, and we'll probably see the Nuggets win it again because let's be honest, Kristaps Mingus Pingus is not stopping Jokic. So, I mean, that kind of wraps up our NBA Finals talk. We've been on here for 51 minutes. I appreciate everybody. We've ran through our today's topics. I'm going to go ahead and end this podcast. I appreciate all of you. Go give us a follow on Twitter at SundayGivenAny. Now, why did we make it that? I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I made the Twitter. We have our TikTok, Any Given Monday podcast, and obviously drop us a follow, drop us a like on YouTube. We are live every Monday night, 9 o'clock. Friday nights, we'll play some Madden. We'll eventually, hopefully, play some UFC. It's weird that it's not crossplay. We'll play something. Every Friday that I'm off, so every other Friday, we'll try to do a podcast. We'll try to do a podcast where we play a game, talk to the fans, talk to everybody, do some debates. It'll be fun. We'll have some fun podcasts. We'll try to do some vertical podcasts during the week. You already know we drop a video every Monday. We drop a UFC video every Thursday. I'm going to quit rambling. Y'all have a great rest of y'all's night. I appreciate all of you. Like and follow, and I will see y'all next Monday.